managing e-health work for all the municipalities and regions and local authorities. The pictures we are going to show, I'll let them over to Kurt. I'll come in the end of it, being a user of NI, about which we heard, right? When we are working at SALAR, we are supporting also the over 100 quality registries in Sweden, and how they are supposed to collect from electronic healthcare records automatically. We are very dependent on the issue of a common reference model, though we have many electronic healthcare records out in the country. So we need this reference model to point and say, this registry needs this information, and you collect it in your system and in your system. It's a very good illustration of the ambitions of Socialstyrelsen and the NI programs. But Kurt will take the big picture, and I'll take a step back.
Thank you. I work for the company called Inera, and I work as a business architect, and I work with these e-health issues every day. The thing I'm going to present is where we have been and the situation today and where we're going, just to give a brief overview. But first, this organizational scheme, we want to show that Inera and SALAR works. Inera is a company owned by the municipalities and councils, so we work on their behalf. So we're working on the national level, and Erika already gave an overview of the Swedish organization, so I skip this. And the situation today, what we work with is integration profiles for integrating care providers and also for reporting from care providers. And we have about 120 integration profiles in production today, and about 1.5 million transactions per day, messages between care providers and also reporting. And I just heard about the last statistics from August. We had 75 million transactions in August over the common integration platform. And the integration profiles is based on international standards, web services, basic profiles, and so on. And the payload in the message is based on most on NI, derived from NI. So it's based on the national standards. And these 120 contracts, they provide semantic and technical interoperability. So we have a production infrastructure in work today that provides a lot of integration. And from Inera, we have about 45 e-health services that we provide to the municipal counties. So that's the current situation. And if we look at what we have done and where we're going is, in 2015, there was a project sponsored by the government that looked on problems, needs and requirements, and also to select standards for semantic and technical interoperability. And this was in two different projects, one project for semantic interoperability, one project for technical interoperability. And these projects together came up with a selection of 45 different standards that could be applied to e-health. This was a joint venture between industry, government agency, Inera and SALAR together, all these parties. Where we did last year was we combined it into one project and looked on semantic and technical interoperability in one project, and we selected a subset of the standards, and we selected 70 use cases based on real clinical processes. And we specified how the proof of concept, what we should test, to really test these standards in real life. But this was already specified, so we didn't do the real test. We didn't do the actual hard work. So the plan is, next phase, is to do the hard work, to do the proof of concept with all these different standards that we have selected. And this includes testing NI, testing archetypes, the different standards that we have selected. And the result from the first phase was a framework of standards built on the EHEN framework. So we have put all these 45 different standards within this context of the EHEN framework. So this was the delivery from the first phase. But this is still work in progress, and this is, Sweden has not decided to use EHAM on a national level. So this is just a framework to categorize the different standards. And this was the delivery of the first phase in 2015. Last year, we came up with a map of different combination of possible standards and how they connect with each other. So NI, which we heard, is in the right-hand corner, and you have 3606, open air, fire, all these standards that we talk about today. And the problem is not selecting one standard, the problem is selecting a combination of standards that works together with tools. With tools. We don't want to do a manual mapping process in every stage. So tool support for the appropriate standard and combination of standards. Very important. So this was the field of standards that we looked at last year. And from this, we decided to define different proof of concept to test the combination standards. But this is the plan now for, we're starting to plan this autumn to execute as soon as possible. So this is the problem, this is the complexity. But where we want to go is I'm trying to summarize a picture of the current thinking. This is not decided, this is how we think today. To have this is the direction that we know we want to go in. So some kind of detailed clinical models, to construct templates, then to capture once for many users in implementation, and use with EHR, quality registers, and also reporting to government agencies. So based on detailed clinical models, possible using ADL, architecture description language, and then go over to possibly FHIR in the interfaces between care providers and also for reporting. So this is the current vision where we want to go. But we have not decided whether to use ADL or what kind of detailed clinical model standard that we should use. So this is work in progress, and the map of standards earlier showed that the field, the selection what we might use. And you're from Holland, here is just another player on the map that we should evaluate. So this is, and also I forgot to mention, we have this terminology and classification which the Socialstyrelsen is responsible for maintaining, and we should use those to do the terminology binding to the clinical models and templates. There's quite a number of selection path that we should choose in the coming years. So should we go this path? Which standard should we use? How do we test them that they can perform? Do we have the right tools? So there are many difficult questions. So this is the current thinking.
And just to conclude, as Erika's presentation, it's not all only visions, we are doing concrete work. On the previous slide, on the right side, you saw the NI track where we're working with the data collection for the quality registries. We do manual mapping and do manual work just to follow the documentation we have from the NI work and apply it and translate the needs of the quality registry over to what is available electronically in the healthcare record. We cannot do it with automatic generating FHIR resources or using them. We are doing it in the manual mapping, but we're using the same infrastructure that is presented here, the very national infrastructure worked by Inera. So we are testing NI and we are testing the semantics of it and following the Socialstyrelsen, so the National Board of Health and Welfare.
So this is actually, for down here, those are the integration profiles that are in production today. But we know that we want to use an international standards-based integration profile. And these are the 120 that is in production today, derived from NE. We use green CDAs as a payload structure. So we're having production, but we know we want to do something more, to do better management of the information resources in the information structures, and also semantically correct. So.
Thank you very much. It was very impressive to look at this slides you showed us.
You get tired.